Good morning. It's Thursday, March 19th, 2015, and you're with Man Over Market. You will be hearing from Lewis Borsellino, who's going to be sharing his charts and proprietary indicators with you today. Do know that even though this is a live broadcast, there's about a 30-minute delay on the video transmission. We'll be watching for comments on the Google Plus event page, as well as on YouTube and on Twitter. If you have any questions, we're on Twitter at @ManOverMarket. As a disclaimer, know that trading futures, options on futures, and retail off-exchange foreign currency transactions involve substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your circumstances, knowledge, and financial resources. You may lose all or most of your initial investment. Opinions, market data, and recommendations are subject to change at any time. Past performance is not indicative of future results. The following information is an expression of our opinions and is provided for educational purposes only. And now to you, Lewis.
All right, good morning, everybody. So after that big Fed day yesterday, this is the mess they've left us with. So here's our market profile. I've been showing this and warning about it all day. I'm taking a look at the way this is setting up. Usually, if we get a trend day down, we wouldn't have more than three characters. So when I say three letters, BCD here, right, BDE, we could leave a little space there. But I have a real difficult time right now even thinking you could play this market from the long side with all this down below. Look at all these single prints. And then here's a gap in data, or this is telling me that the market traded from 2065 and before all the buy stops hit, the next sell was at 2072.75. So we have that gap there. All right. Overnight profile kind of looked pretty well filled in. Okay. I mean, this looks like it needs to be filled in more, but you know, at this point, I'm really, I'm really torn because I think that, they're going to have to fill these single prints in, and given it that it's still rollover expiration, I think this will be, it's going to happen in the next couple of days. Excuse me, if not, today, at least down to here. So that's one of the things that are really troubling me and concerning me at this point. We have the CCI right now has went up, got to the oversold. It's in a sell. Okay, kind of just lingering here. Here's our. This is my advanced decline. I'm looking at right there. Okay, it's trading above its low. The blue shaded area has its high and low that I look at, and we're trading inside of the blue shaded area. And then this is it. We got our 1 minute chart here. Okay. Will this, will E fill into here? Will it trade back up to the mode? If it trades back up to the mode and puts 4 across, I mean, that could be telling me we're going to be range bound today. BD here looks unfinished. This looks unfinished. It's slowly been taking out the single ticks. Usually these single prints, they get taken out, when you get to them, they run. So when I bring in book map, whoops, sorry. Got some big orders up here. We just went down and made the new lows again. Not a lot of big white targets down here right now. There's not a lot of big white targets down there. So that's another thing I've been monitoring today. Here's an issue we got going on. Okay, conflicting. Nasdaq's in a buy. Okay, Nasdaq's up 4 on the day, and you got the Dow. We're down 1,000. And or 10 points, 10 handles, and the Dow's down 80. Russell is also in a buy. on the 5-minute basis. Sorry. I have a little trouble with the charts this morning because they've been lagging behind. I don't know where that went. Let me get out of here. Sorry. So the Russell's in a buy also. I don't put a lot of credence on the Russell. So there is where we are. We are sitting in a little range right now. Trying to make up its mind profile-wise with this sort of distribution. You know, usually I would say this is unfinished at the top, but given all the unfinished on the bottom, it's, you know, what are you going to do at this point? What are you going to do? Like I said, it's making it really difficult for me to even think that you could play this market from the long side, because at any time they could come out and decide that they're going to, you know, go, you know, the longs that are in the market. I'm telling you, that overreaction yesterday really surprised me. But then again, remember, when you're trading, you can never think you got it figured out. But, you know, what did they say? I mean, can you figure out what Janet Yellen said yesterday? All right, they took out patience. Big deal. They left in the word, we're going to wait for data. And there is no data that is telling us that we have to raise rates. 2 reasons we don't have to raise rates, and I keep repeating this. Everybody's going flight to quality. They're buying our bonds right now. Foreign governments, Chinese, the German, everybody's buying our bonds at the current rate, 1.7. So why raise them? Why give people more yield if they're going to finance your debt? That's number one. And number two, I mean, if the non-raising rates had the reaction on the market yesterday, the 4,000 point rally, what is a raising of the rates going to do? Now, I mean, what are they going to do? They can only do 0.25, maybe, right? I've never seen them do less or more than 0.25. If anybody else has, let me know. Twitter it to me. So that's where we're at right now. We've got a double bottom sitting there at 1 1/4, and we're just sitting here lingering at this point. Good time to ask questions because I'm out of things to say.
Where's the mode at right now?
Day mode. The day mode is at 2085 half. Right here, the purple. Okay.
Can you show the single prints again, please?
There's the action so far today. So C went up, took out, yeah, I will in a second. D couldn't get past B, so we got a double bottom there. So now we're looking at E to make the move. I'll put this over here. Okay. All right. The single prints are right here. Look at this. See the K's? This all happened in bracket K in the announcement yesterday. So we're sitting at 2081 now, all the way down to 2072.75, and then this I can explain. This should happen in the pit. You get a bunch of buy stops. Let's say there was a bunch of buy stops. You know, let's say there was 5,000 buy stops here, and everybody putting their buy orders came in. There were no offers. So the next trade went to 2072. So from 65 to 72, basically, what is that? 700 points. There were no trades. So that's when they first started trading again. Looks like we're trying to make another attempt here to take out the low. So, and with no big targets here, it's only going to take one of these big guys to say, you know what, let's start taking our, we think they're going to fill the prints in. They're going to start shortening it, and then if they do that, you'll see everybody go. You won't be able to get in on this thing. So that's going to be the problem at this point. So that's what I have. I'm sorry if I wish I could manufacture something for you, but I can't.
Lewis, what is the usefulness of the VWAP line while trading?
So that's the value weighted average price. Value weighted average price. Okay. Let me open this up. I can locate it for you. Okay. This is this dotted line right here. Okay. It kind of shows you how the market's being balanced for the day. And then we take a look at, see the green line to this dotted line. So if we trade down to here, it'd be, this line stays 2 standard deviation from the mean or the middle, okay? And as this is a moving average, so it's value average weighted price, it kind of gives us, an idea of where our targets are at and where we're sitting. So like right now, based on the VWAP and the bottom, we're basically we're at the halfway point, So that's the way we use it. Kind of lets you know if this will go on it's red. It's been moving down since the opening or since last night, as you can see if you trail it all the way back. Okay. It's just another tool to give you an idea of the way the market indications are going. Here's another thing that I think I've pointed out to you before, that when I get this sort of action, we get this, and we're red. Okay, our moving averages are red. As you can tell, they're not pointing straight down, right? And then when we get this, and it doesn't, it came down, crossed the line, and it's staying here. This means you're getting like steady selling. Same thing with the moving averages, not nose diving, right? Not nose diving. We're getting some more selling here with the futures, but I don't see the advanced decline moving out of there yet, out of the low. So that's another thing, the way I use that. 1/2, we're at 1/2. Let's see if we can take out we got now what? Double bottom here at 1 1/4. Let's see if bracket E can take it out. Still 2/2, we keep bouncing. You can tell that the average price for the mode for E is 3/4. Okay, let's see where D was at. Okay, so D was 285.30. C was 286. So you've got the average, you got the mode moving down in the brackets. All little things you got to kind of monitor when you're doing this. When you're trying to ascertain market movement based on price. I wish I had a letter from Janet that said what she was going to do. I kind of feel like this is like Bill Clinton all over. I did not have sex with that lady. Is. I feel like Bill Clinton right now. Actually, I'm going to tell you my story about Bill Clinton.
You want to answer a couple of questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
That'll be the story of the day today. When I met Bill Clinton. Go ahead.
Can you develop the poor low high concept, please?
Right here. This is a perfect question for this. Look at this. Right here. BD. BD. They're equal. There's no tail. Here, I'll give you like when I look at here, look at the top here. Right? We went from 4 or from 5 to 4 to 4 to 3 to 3 to 1. Boom. Completed top. To me, that's completed top. No gray areas anymore. This looks like it's completed up here. All right. And then when you see stuff like this, BD, that's not complete. All right.
All right. Is Lewis trading crude today? If so, what are his thoughts on the long or short side for the rest of the day?
I got a negative bias on crude, okay? And I'm taking a look at here's the this is gonna we're gonna we got a nice little rally going on, huh? Okay. So 45. All right, here's my thoughts on it. We have to if crude, as long as it stays above 45.22, okay, it would be on the long side. I mean, there's a lot of, look at all this stuff from last night and yesterday. 45.22. As long as we stayed above 45.22. I think that my thoughts on crude is that I think it's going down to $30, and all these little rallies are just short covering rallies. So,
Lewis, do you think institutions ever work together to move the market if they know a lot of shorts, as example, will cover at a certain price? Or does that ever happen?
I think that the institutions work independently, but they all have all the same information. Okay, so and there, there's only a few players that are trading minis that could be that effective. I also think that the big banks and as far as interest rates are concerned, all have the information from the Fed where rates are going. And I know this, the Fed has their own trading rooms, and before all the technology used to be set on all the trading rooms were built on a thing called Triarch. That was the backbone of the platform. It's called Triarch, and I just know the gentleman who's a billionaire who sold his company to Reuters, and that's what he did. He actually built trading rooms, trading systems, and he digitized the New York Stock Exchange boards, and he built trading rooms based on Triarch and the dealings machines. When the currencies were all traded and they all had different keyboards, he integrated all that. So I know that when it comes to interest rates, a lot, I think they all have the same information, and they're, when they all have the same information, they all kind of make the same bet.
Okay. Lewis, have you broken down the day and half-hour segments via market profile to figure out the bias for that time period of the day based on statistics?
Well, I mean, I don't have to break down the day. Market profile does it for me, right? So what I'm looking for is, during these time periods, are we, is there a, will E go and take out D? All right, because you're gonna need a breakout from the middle, right? Because that's where all the best moves come on from. The breakout from the middle. All right. So now we filled in that little area that we were talking about. We're at we got 2081 quarter. I'm looking at here 2084. What is 3.5 points from the low? So are we stuck in this range until we can take out that bottom? Those are the kind of things that I look at. And the problem right now, and I know it's causing everybody the same problem, is that for me, I know how powerful those single prints are, and the gap is down below. So how do you trade this market from the long side, right? Because like yesterday, the market was 700 lower. They sold it all day, and then in one announcement, they rallied 4,000 points, right? So it's difficult. It's a hard thing to do right now. I sort of, if you can see here, I built my sort of range where I think the middle is, and that's the blue that you're looking at. So, you know, the middle is, for me, is, you know, where you really shouldn't be involved in the market. You want to be on the extremes. So that's where we're at, you know.
Where are those strong support / resistant areas for ES? And how do you draw them in?
Where'd that question come from?
Twitter.
Erica? I draw these in based on, it's kind of proprietary, so I'm not going to teach that one right now. And actually, it's still experimenting with it.
We post support and resistance on Twitter in the morning.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll say support and resistance stuff that we post in the morning. Okay. We look at, you know, so when we're looking at this, so like this morning, I couldn't really, how am I supposed to, you know, put down support when I have all these single prints, right? So for me, I basically said I believe the market's got to go from here down to here, but usually we look for, and this is good indication, right? The market likes to move from low volume nodes to high volume nodes, right? So here's a high volume node back up here in this area, right? 91.5, 92.5. You know, we're getting 4 prints here. This is telling me the market's going to trade on both sides of the range right there. C's not complete, you know. If we get above here, 2086 or 2087, we could go up there and test these highs again. So, but the market usually likes to, besides old highs, old lows that everybody has, we like to look at the market moving from low volume nodes to high volume nodes. And they're over here in these red vertical dots here. Okay, that shows how much volume is traded. So if you look up here, here's a high volume, you know, 227,000 contracts traded at that price versus at this price here, 46,000. So that's what we look at. And so when we're moving down or moving up in the morning, we go and look at all these, right? So I mean, from our current price where we're at, I mean, the next big high volume node is down here, and that's 117,000 contracts. So that's how we look at support and resistance. And then plus we have, you know, the calculated pivots and things like that. So when you look at R1 and R2, that's coming from, we take the high, low, settlement divided by 3, and everybody's got that. Everybody knows that the way to calculate the pivots. Those aren't anything new. I'm trying to even find them, the floor pivots. Oh, here they are. So S1 first floor pivots, what is it? 2063.25. All right, and then first R1 is at 2110. So I don't even know how much they're going to come into play today. Is that it? Is that what she was looking for?
Sounds like it.
Come on. I have all this stuff open. It's kind of hard to. All right. Any other questions?
Here's one for you, Lewis. You promised me. Word of the day, Fugazi.
Fugazi. All right. So the word of the day means it's a fake. It's a fake. So all the I've been around too long, and I went back and I looked, and I was talking about, 1987. You talk about this, about you know, where I was, and I was in the airport, and then, you know, I was leaving on Friday before Black Monday. I left, and I was going to Europe on a business trip, and I left with a position, and then I came back, and I'm going to tell these stories in sequence. But on Thursday, I made my famous $1.3 million trade, and then like Friday, I wanted to get some money out of my account, and I'm sitting in the, you know, the owner of the clearing firm, or one of the owners, happened to be also the president of the exchange, and he was a very good friend of mine, and you know, we were partners in businesses, and it was Jack Sander and Marietta, who was his secretary, and I went in and I said, Jack, I want to get a check, get some money out of my account. He goes, right now we got problems, and the phone call came in from Alan Greenspan, who told Jack that they were gonna basically loosen up interest rates and supply money to help all the clearing firms, not only on Wall Street, but, you know, all the different exchanges to meet their margin calls and so on. So when, you know, yesterday, when I listened to the language, and I kind of believe I'm a reasonably intelligent guy, and everybody doing this should be reasonably intelligent. What is the Fed gonna do if this doesn't work? What if all the Feds are going to do? We're at a 0% interest rate environment. And I was trying to tell you that in 1987, I went back and I looked at it. I think the rates were 10%. So they cut the rates by like 2 basis points overnight. Where are we going to do that? How are we going to cut? I mean, the next thing we do is, instead of, you know, we'll just give money to everybody, right? I mean, I don't know what's going to happen if this experiment of quantitative easing, buying our own bonds, I don't know where they're going. So I don't know how anybody expected her to say anything. And I said it yesterday morning. Do not expect her to say anything that will spook the market, right? So that's the word of the day, Fugazi. It's all this. This is it's funny, but it's not funny, because I don't know what they're going to do. We just keep printing money, right? So all the rhetoric that happened yesterday, it was still patience. They took the word out, but they substituted with, okay, we're going to wait for data. Well, come on. You know, I just can't. I can't buy that stuff. It doesn't sit well with me, and it shouldn't sit well with you either. So, I was ready for
a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Lewis, if you were to change one flaw about financial markets to improve the system, what would it be?
Inside information. There are people that have it and the people that don't. Now, they really go after the stock people, quasi-stock people. But let me tell you something. There is no such thing as insider trading when it comes to futures trading. There is trading in front of a customer order, meaning a guy tells me, hey, I'm going to buy 10,000 minis, and I get long before it, right? But there's no, anybody who knew what she had to say yesterday could have been long 10,000 minis on the bottom, knowing that what she said was going to spark the rally, okay? The Merc, nobody ever investigates the futures trading unless they see big option plays going on and so on, okay? And that is one of the things that really bothers me, because we're out there and everybody here is putting their money, their time on the line, and nobody should have that advantage. And that's why I don't like the high frequency trading bullshit. Is bullshit. They should be thrown out of exchanges. Why? Listen, when I wrote my book back in 1998, I told everybody that we are going away. I had so many guys who hated me on the floor of the exchange because I told them the truth. I said, we're going away. And the reason we're going away is, the reason they need us for liquidity is because all the big firms wanted it. They could get rid of all their floor presence. But the number one thing is, they have total anonymity now. Total. They can put orders in and sell and buy, and we have no idea who it is. Now, I told you this. a couple of times. If you're new people, it looks like we're going to take the lows out. Here we go. 81 quarter. New bracket. 80 half. All right. So we went up here. We tested that area. Looking at the CCI. All right. I got to go for my next target. Let me open this up for you. All right. My next target is going to be right here, 77. You'll probably get a pause right there. So look for 77. What is that? Half. 77 half. So the algo guys. Oh, let me show you what Bookmap looks like when it's neat. Look at that. They all jumped in. Look at it.
Question on Bookmap too while you have it up.
All right, go ahead.
Have you noticed the differences in volume on Bookmap that would indicate a longer time frame participant?
Yeah, look at these up here. Those solid guys. Right now, this is unusual. I'm not seeing any big orders down there. So that's telling me that the algo guys aren't involved right now. Down here. Here we go. 79 half. 78. Remember I told you? See how it popped up? I'll leave this up for a while because if we get down here, you can tell when these guys are legit because these red dots will sell into it and you'll see it's like the old Pac-Man eating into it. Okay? I love this software. I think it's great. But not, I mean, if you got a position on and this is your target and you know there's big guys here, get out a couple ticks in front of them, you know? I'm going to look at, let's go over here. I'll put it back over. All right, so we're outside of the, so this is basically the low on the advanced decline. Here's our 1 minute chart. Okay. And if you look at this, the 1 minute chart looks symmetric to the 5 minute chart, right? So that's why I kind of use both of those. Let me see where our 30-minute pivot's sitting at. All right, so the 30 minutes up above. Let's look at the 60.
Lows again.
The lows, sorry. Shit. Here, let me bring this back over here. So 79 half. Here there was the target. They went and they got it. Next target, 78, 77. Right? Now, that corresponds with what I'm seeing here, right? I'm looking for 1.5 times. Guys that come in at 77, right? So that's how I use this. 78, 77. All right? If you got a short position on. Okay? Now, here's what people will do, though. If they get this, they go, oh, well, it's going there. And they get short here. And look at this. They'll start bouncing back up to 81, 82. You don't know, all right? If you're prepared to sit through that, that's fine. But you got a lot of different information here telling you, I think the market is going to go at least here. And ultimately today, I think we go to here, 72. I think that's where we go. All right. And when I look here, right, I talked about coming out of the middle, right? Those are always the best moves that come out of the middle. Okay. I kind of identified the middle today. I mean, I got to go back to here, right? And when I identified the middle, I'll leave this up so you can look at it. 78 there. Okay. Anthony's is going to put up a link to who you'd contact. And once again, I have no financial arrangement. I'm not, nor does Man Over Market. We are not getting any kickback from Bookmap. I just, a guy asked me to look at it. I got it for free. Okay, so that's my only financial information. But I wouldn't be showing it to you if I'm not using it. That's the kind of guy I am. All right. Now, here's a couple things, right? We got the CCI. Going down, we're entering oversold area, okay? We've got these exhaustion dots, but here, remember the average the VWAP, two standard deviations will be at 78. We got a big order here at 78. All right. I've got, what else do I got going on at 70? I got 1.5 times the range at 76. All right. So if you're short multiple cars or one contract or whatever, this may be a good place to lighten up. Okay. That's, and people, this is not an exact science, right? This is exactly what I say it is. It's a process, and you have to go through this process, and you got to get a guy, you got to get my nephew Anthony to come in and help you, so you can free up your eyes to help you, right? Or we got to start a trading room that we all trade together and share information. I know that's what you guys want. All right, here we go. Look at this. So the Dow or the Nasdaq is now unchanged on the day. All right, so we need that to come down. We need the Nasdaq to come down, take out its 5-minute pivot, and some people start getting scared out of the Nasdaq, and then we'll get a big move back down to from where we started from yesterday. All right. Here's the Dow. The Dow has been in a sell all day. The Dow is down 109. Did I hear yesterday they're going to let Apple, they're cleared the way for Apple to go into the Dow? I think that's what I heard yesterday. That seems like so ridiculous. Leave the Apple in the S&P 500. Why would you put it in the Dow? There's 30 stocks in the Dow. So wherever Apple goes, that's what the Dow is going to be doing. That's ridiculous. That's another Fugazi. People listen to the Dow. The Dow Industrials. If you look at the stocks that were in the Dow Industrials 25 years ago, and now what's in there? They're still there. It's a tech company now. Sorry, I have frustration out there.
Is there correlations of price movement with the open/close of the 30-minute TPO?
So is there correlations with the price movement? I don't really understand. I'm kind of confused with the question, but look, it's really simple to me. And I think it's kind of, look, I split them like this, right? So C takes out B, so that's at our IB range, right? D can't take out C, E hasn't taken out D, F can't take out E. All right, so I'm looking at it. I'm looking at, so what are we doing here? Higher, lower highs, right? Lower highs. Okay, and now E didn't take out D, but F did. So that means F is the one that broke out of the middle. So that's what I'm looking for right now. So this trend is down for me unless we get a bracket that comes out and takes out. I'm sorry, takes out right here. See this level, BCD? Or we come back inside here, BCD, right in here, BCDE. If we get back inside that level, then the market could retrace. Okay.
Ready for one?
I'm ready.
Lewis, I heard you mention your book. Can you describe your book a little more, please? Has your methodology changed much since you wrote it?
Which book would you like me to show you? I know. Look, do not think that this book is a how-to. This book is a memoir, and it was written in '79, so half my life was over. The second book is coming out. The other book, the Day Trader course, is basic technical analysis. It hasn't changed much. There's other tools out there, but I mean, I've used every tool you can think about, from Gantt charts. Actually, I own I wish we can find him again, but me, Jack Sanders, and Les Rosenthal from Rosenthal Collins and Bob Collins own the original rights to Gans charts. We have them sitting in a safe somewhere. In fact, I'm going to try to go find them. So I've been using technical analysis my whole life. My book, The Day Trader, if you're trying to go buy this and think I'm going to tell you everything about trading in here, it's not. It's a memoir about my life and different things that have happened in there that I think made me a good trader. Okay. The other thing is the Day Trader course was written by myself and the people that were helping me back in the 90s, and they were all good chartists and great people. They all had different disciplines. Like one guy was a Gann guy, one guy was a big Fibonacci guy. So here we go. We're coming down on this. All right, so they've got about 1,000 on the bid. Look, if you see the white, that means they're pulling, but it doesn't look like they're pulling. It's like 1,200 contracts there. But between 78 and 77, we got about 4,000 on the bid. We're getting to our exhaustion point here. Let's see if they take it out. They're still there. There's about 1,000 on the bid. So what used to happen in the pit is that the locals would jump in front of this guy and buy quarters, right, and hope that would stop it. And this is why most floor traders have a problem with making a transition, because they were used to be able to get this order flow, and they would jump in here and buy quarters. Okay, now see how it's lightened up in here, and then they would try to sell halves and 75s and 80s on the rallies. Okay, so they were scalping, right? And because they had access to the order flow, they were able to do it. Now this guy is pretty much gone. He's not gone. There's 950 left there. All right, but it looks like most of them have now moved down to 77. That's the next target, which coincides with what? Come on, even Debbie can answer this question. She knows nothing about trading. 1.5 times the IB range, right there. Okay. I like this that we're getting some action here. All right. All right.
I'll let everybody know where we post the research too. We get a couple people
All
asking.
right, here we go. 77. Isn't that pretty? Huh? All right. We're getting to exhaustion here, oversold. We got some buyers here. But now, let me tell you something about oversold. All right? Yesterday afternoon, we were oversold the whole afternoon. So oversold is a condition that can last for a couple hours. But they're correcting it today, aren't they? That's what I'm talking about, the Fugazi. You got to be careful of the fake outs. All right, so we'll get a little. So now, if this low sits, right? This low sits, which is currently 77.25. I know what everybody's going to ask. Well, where would you want to get short? All right. Well, in the old days, you could sell new lows and buy new highs, right? But I would be looking now for my rotation, right? So we're talking about 3.50 off for 77.25, right? So that would be what, 80 half, something like that. Look where this guy's sell is at, 80 even. You got that? What is that? 350 off to 3.25. All right.
Yeah, 350 is the average rotation.
Yeah, so 350, 7.25 is 80.75. Is that it? All right. So look where we broke out from. This broke out from the middle. If I go back to bracket F,
80.75 on rotation.
80.75. Okay. 20.83.25. All right. Look where the bottom of my middle was here. Okay. We went and filled it at 84 half. So bracket F never got higher than 83 and a quarter, so that confirmed the breakouts in the middle for me. I hope this stuff is starting to make sense for you. A couple more of these and you will never need me again. Let me leave this over for you. Here you go.
All right. You promised a story about Bill Clinton.
Ah, Bill Clinton's
They're
story.
gonna stop sharing. They want to see you too while you tell.
Okay. All right. Let me fix myself up. Okay. Stop sharing. Let me comb my hair. I'll take my glasses off. Hold on. Are we there?
Yeah, here we go.
Let's say what?
Accept.
Okay.
They can't.
You got my fotch?
Stop sharing at the top.
Stop.
Stop.
Okay. I see the big sigh on Twitter, then I'll know. All right. Here we are. Okay. So when I was on the floor of the exchange, one of my duties was that I was a member of the CFPF, which was the Commodity Futures Political Fund. And for the longest time, whenever we were so good at making donations that when we made a donation to a senator or a congressman, it would resonate with the community in the financial world, and they would then, a lot of money would follow. So I was part of the Commodity Futures Political Fund, and I was put on the fund because I could go shake down the guys on the floor for money. Basically, that's what I was. I was a shakedown guy. All right. So I would go and ask people for donations, and I also never denied giving a donation when the order came down from Jack Sander or Leo Mohammed, and they would have a meeting. So there was about 5 of us that were, the guys who were the shakedown guys. There was me, Harry the Hat, Mike Manini. There were some other guys in the meats and the currencies, Jimmy Kalanis. So all the guys that, pretty well prominent people that were on the CFPF. So Bill Clinton's coming to town. And, and this is in the height of the Monica Lewinsky thing. I mean, we're talking, he didn't have sex, there's the dress, his infatuation for cigars, all those different things. And so anyway, when he's coming to town, and this is sort of like, we're going to have a private reception for Bill Clinton, and it's going to be 40 guys, $3,500. So I get the word, Lewis, you got to get 10 guys. Or I had 5. Each guy had 5 guys. So, and plus I had to make my donation. So I would never go up to anybody and say, look, I got to write a check for $3,500. Would you please write it? I wouldn't ask anybody that I wasn't doing the same thing. So I would go to the bigger traders and so on, and so I think we had like 40 checks that were $3,500. Not a bad night's work, 2 hours, stop at the Merc, collect what is that, 45,000? No, 4,500 times 10 is that? Or no, 40 times 40. Do the math on that, Anthony. 40 times 40, 3,500. There you go. 140,000. Not bad for 2 hours work. Okay. He had to pay the lawyers, Monica, right? So anyway, and there's only 40 people there, and I got to tell you this: I was never a Bill Clinton fan. I mean, on his social side of the issues, wasn't bad with his policies. I mean, we had some of the biggest growth during the Democratic president when Clinton was in there. Those 8 years, but he also, the thing that aided that is that communism fell. So anyway. Getting back to the story, I told the guys, so when you meet the President of the United States, this is what happens. You stand in a line, and there's a guy called a greeter, and you fill out a card, right? and you fill out the card that says Lewis Borsellino, and you give your card's given to the greeter when you walk in the line. You shake your hand, or the greeter shakes your hand, and he then turns you to the president, and then you put your hand out, and the president has the card, or he's told the card, the president your name, and so Bill Clinton says, Lewis Borsellino, really nice to meet you. I go, nice to meet you. He goes, how you doing? I go, well, Prez, I'm doing a little better than you right now. Now he looked at me, and then he bust out laughing, right? And I had told the guys what I was going to say to him, and he started laughing, and he said, yeah, I guess you're right. You are doing better than me. And I walked through the line, and then I really wasn't really a Bill Clinton fan, but I'm going to tell you something. Talk about charisma. This guy spoke for about an hour and a half, and he was, there's a reason he's a Rhodes Scholar, all right? I mean, you were not going to outthink this guy, right? So that's my story about Bill Clinton. And it was, and I told the guys, I told all the guys that I was sitting with, watch what I say to them. And they knew that I was nuts, that I was going to say something, but I had to break the ice a little. He wasn't taken back by it at all. So that's my story about Bill Clinton. So what do we got going on here? So we stopped at 77 for right now, huh?
Share the screen.
Let us see your screen.
Let me go back to sharing the screen. All right. So 77. Well, we got the low there. What is that? 77 and a quarter low. Okay. We got the CCI. So look, this is exactly what I said. Sometimes you gotta, that was a good place to cover, right? And we've had 15 minutes of going, well, basically almost a half hour, straight down, right? Let's see what happened. We got the next bracket coming out, right? So I am new lows again, right? So, like I said, we got a possibility going all the way down here today, filling this whole gap, okay? What is going on up here? Still, the NASDAQ still hanging on here, right? I really would like the NASDAQ to get involved in this, take their lows out, and then I would be convinced we're maybe going back to where we started from yesterday. So that's one of the things that I'm looking at. Let's take a look at this here. Here we go. Got another 76 quarter. All right. We're as long as this doesn't go back up here and cross the center line, I've been watching this long enough that we probably will get up to here and then flatten out and keep going like we've been going, all right? So, and plus now here, look, 2 exhaustion dots, well, 1 for sure, all right? Look for a little pause here now and so on. So I think the key, as you see my blue little move from the middle, right? Advanced decline, we're down below that. So, everything's telling me that we're going to go fill the gaps. Now, that's what we're going to do today, I think. So, I don't know. Any other questions?
I don't know if
that's the president calling. That's Obama. I have not met him.
Can you share your current settings of contracts, configuration, and volume dots for Bookmap on the ES? I think it's the default settings, right?
I don't know if here, right here you want to see? I usually set it right here about 25, a little less, like 20. So here, that's telling me only where the big orders are, right? All the way to 0. And I use it like right around 20, right there. Some people like to use it there. I think that's too much noise for me. I like to set it right about there. It's a prettier picture too. Is that what you wanted? Hopefully.
I think so.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I want to take a look at this because me and Anthony have been driving ourselves nuts with crude. All right. So their move out of the middle came in bracket. Looks like bracket E, right? All right, here's their middle. So look, bracket E took them out of the middle. Took them up, right? And they went through here. That was it. You're getting a little bit of a retracement now. So I guess, who asked me that oil question? We went up to 46.08.
That's way up top here.
Yeah.
So one of the top step guys.
One of the top step guys. There you go. Love those top step guys. And by the way, anybody who's viewing, Friday at noon, we are going to have, I'm going to do like an hour-long thing with Top Step, but it's just about, it's called Shoot the Shit with Lewis. Actually, Eddie has a different name for it. I named it Shoot the Shit with me. So that's what we're going to be doing. We might not talk about everything. Want to talk about my picture I put out today? That picture? With the trophies. As a few people don't know, I coached Montini Catholic High School for 6 years. I was the offensive coordinator, and the last 4 years won 4 consecutive state championships and put about 11 kids in Division I schools. And my son's actually on football scholarship at Western Illinois. I spend my weekends tailgating, and that's what my wife and I do now. We are professional tailgaters. And our daughter played 4 years of soccer. She's graduating. I want to brag about my kid right now. My daughter goes to Northwestern in the marketing program and just got in the master's program. She just got accepted. Incredible. So I don't know where she came from because my IQ is barely room temperature. It's like 78. So I have a hard time putting my shoes on in the morning. But at the end of the day, and I wrote more books than I read, and I was the only person in my family on TV without the jacket on my head. So, anyway, and you have to be able to laugh at yourself, right? So, but I'm very proud of my daughter. I can't believe that. When she got a partial scholarship for soccer, I was sitting in the coach's office and I started crying. And she came back and told the brothers, I made Dad do something you guys can't. He was crying. And so that's where I'm at. Any more questions?
If you were to give traders one tool or recommend a book or video for understanding financial markets and how banks/institutions move them, what would it be?
Well, you know what? I don't think there's one book because, you know, here's the truth about banks and financial institutions. All right, and I signed up to do a documentary. Tasty Trade has actually bought the rights to my book, and they're going to do a documentary. But for most of you people don't know, if you Google me, you'll see a lot of different things. But I started a company that became the New York Stock Exchange. All right, and I ended up in a 9-year litigation. I sued Goldman Sachs for racketeering and for civil RICO, and I sued my ex-partners for fraud. I won the case for fraud against my ex-partners. Here's the lowdown. Those guys made $300 million, my ex-partners, and it's public record. You know, they started Archipelago behind my back, a jury 7 days long, fraud, whatever. Okay. They've never traded a contract of anything in their life. And they made $300 million building software and things that ended up becoming the New York Stock Exchange. So there's my little bitter pill, but I'm actually doing a documentary on that story too. And when we were still in Goldman Sachs, my 2 very good Harvard-educated, Columbia-educated lawyers, 2 of the best lawyers I ever met, but civil rights guys. So they're these guys. They we were suing Goldman Sachs, and I looked at them and said, you know, we're not going to win this. And they go, oh, no, we really got a good case. I go, no, we're not going to win this. Paulson, did you ever hear of him? Right? He's the Secretary of Treasury. He used to be the CEO of Goldman Sachs. So the problem is all the banks, they all have their inside information. They know what their big customers are doing. So they're able to, their trading arm trades off better information than we have. This is all we can ever trade off of, is price movement. Hope to jump on the information that's already being disseminated by the big guys. And that's all you could ever hope to. So I'm going to tell you what it is. You know, everybody tells you Sun Tzu, whatever. All right? Read this book.
Stop sharing.
Read my book about my life, about ups, downs. My theme song on my phone is That's Life. Riding high in April, shot down in May. If you're going to be a trader, you got to be able to take the good days with the bad days, and you got to be able to move on. If you can't move on, then this is not going to be a good career for you. It's about discipline. It's about discipline, because there are going to be times where you make 20 winning trades in a row, and then there's going to be times that you can't make two winning trades in a row. So it's because you don't have perfect information. Everybody else has perfect information. I mean, the bigger traders do. And they have different time frames, and they're trading with fun money, not their money. They're trading with the company's money. You know, years ago, I was supposed to be highlighted with a bank trader who was big currency trader, made like $250 million trading currencies. Well, you know how the bank traders trade currencies? All their customers are telling me, we got to buy the dollar today. So they get in front of their customers. They buy them, and then they sell the currency to their customers. You know, they already bought the offers. That's the way it used to be. All right, it hasn't changed. Big players have better information, so I can't recommend it. This is all about price movement, because that's all we could ever hope to be. Understand price movement, be able to trade where you're comfortable with your position, and you can stay in a position when they throw things out of equilibrium, like the move yesterday. Come on, how much time we got left?
We're done.
We're done, huh? Right. Look, the move from yesterday, you know, the gap, the single prints, they're going to fill them. They're going to fill them. So you're going to have to be able to put a position on that allows you to sit through some steam. Okay, so. All right.
If we missed any questions, guys, please post them to Twitter at @ManOverMarket, and we'll try to field them for you.
What's this?
What your definition of the word is?
The word is, yeah.
Gabby Trader wants to know.
Gabby
Trader.
Ask Bill Clinton. He gave you that definition, right? All right, everybody. Good luck. I hope we had some fun. And you got to know something. I do this from my heart, because I'm good at this, because I witnessed this for 30 years. I'm just telling you everything I experienced. And the things I experienced 30 years ago, you still experience today. It's no different. All right. Talk to you guys later. Probably next week, Tuesday, Thursday, and same time. All right, buddy. Everybody, good night. Good luck. Talk to you later. Bye.